The Famicom had some interesting unofficial ports, and in today's video I'm taking a look at a particular company or team, the Hummer team, and what they did is they made several unofficial ports for the Famicom into the early 2000s. And so these are some interesting ports that they were connected to. These aren't official, but I thought some of them were really interesting. Many of them I didn't even know existed. There'll be a link below for more information on these. And so I hope you enjoy these. Sit back, relax. Here we go. This was made by the Hummer team in '97. And essentially, it's kind of a downgrade of a Donkey Kong Country Game Boy Color port. There is some differences. There's also some similarities to Donkey Kong Land. And you know what? For a downgrade, making it work on inferior hardware, not bad. And there's a lot of different Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Country hacks on Famicom, but you know what, this is one of the better ones, or considered one of the better ones. Again, in the link below, there's information on all the games I'm showing today. And you know what, I would totally play this. And it's just interesting to see kind of the what if scenario. What if, you know, Nintendo officially made some of their iconic franchises for their aging hardware in the late 90s. It's just kind of cool to see these, and I enjoyed playing this one. Taking a nod from Mario Kart, this is an unofficial fighting game called Kart Fighter. And you know what, Hummer team did a lot of fighting games. I'm going to show several of them in this video, but this is one of the more interesting one. I don't know if I'd go back and play this, but it's just interesting to see. So taking that, you know, Mario Kart theme and making a playable fighting game, 8 characters. A lot of the character movesets are similar. Every character has a projectile, an uppercut, and a flying kick. But you know what? Taking and looking at some of the graphics here, not bad. You know, it's just interesting, kind of like a poor man's Smash Brothers. You know, but this was released in '95. So knowing the date that it was released, you know, well before Smash was a thing, it's kind of interesting to see a capable fighting game on the Famicom. Another late release, 1998, and it was really cool to see this. Now, you know, it's a far stretch of the original, but King of Fighters 96 is a fairly decent game. It has less characters, it does retain the team mode, and I just wanted to show this, that, you know, the NES was capable of a fighting game. Now, the sprites are small, the graphics are scaled down, but for the Famicom, it's doable. And you know what? I just really enjoy seeing these games, the attempts of these unofficial ports being made. As you know, it's kind of going back to what I said earlier, a what if scenario. And you know what? There's another game that this is based off, Street Fighter 02 97. But you know what? You may enjoy these. And again, would you play this? In the comments below, let me know. Did you know about this? Have you played this version? Now, there's a lot of screen sprite flicker in this, you know what, and it's far from being perfect, but the fact that this development team attempted this and pulled it off, pretty impressive. Overall, I give it an okay. I don't know if it's the best fighting game. There's some other games on this list I'm going to show you that I would probably play over this. This first one, Mortal Kombat 4, was actually a hack of a previous Mortal Kombat game, which is better, but I thought I'd show it here as it's very different. And there's 7 playable characters, and you may see some duplications on the menu screen there. And so all the characters have essentially the same move list. So I think this is the inferior Mortal Kombat, but I wanted to show it as, you know what, just another fighting game pulled off on a 2-button controller system, if you don't count select and start. Overall, I thought the graphics were pretty good, and definitely this one feels a little bit more like Mortal Kombat 3. In the comments, definitely let me know what you think of this. But yeah, because of all the movesets being the same, that's the biggest downfall of this, and less characters than the next version, which came out before. And this is Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat 3. 10 characters, each with their different moves. I like that. I think that's awesome. And definitely the graphics, it takes a nod from Mortal Kombat 2 with some Mortal Kombat 3 backgrounds. This definitely has that Mortal Kombat 2 feel, which for me, personally, that's one of my favorite Mortal Kombats for classic Mortal Kombat games. But having each character with their own moveset, to me, makes this a better game. Looks pretty good, too. I thought this was well done, especially for an 8-bit system. One of the better fighting games that I'm showing today, especially with all the different movesets able to be pulled off, gets a thumbs up for me and definitely worth checking out. Street Fighter II 097, and this is pretty impressive, and there's some similarities between this and King of Fighters 96. 9 playable characters. You can pull off supers. It is a 2-player game. It looks kind of confusing on the character selection screen because there's so many repeats. Lots of flicker here, but man, I was able to pull off several of the moves, and you know what? I think overall, pretty awesome. There's no super meter. You can just pull them off, but you know what? For a downgrade on an inferior system, I thought this was pretty cool. Like seeing the Hummer in the background. You could do much worse on the Famicom, and it's just kind of sweet to see this downgraded version being offered. A bit unofficial and pirated bootlegged copy, but still cool. There was lots of ports of Sonic style games on the Famicom. Samurai is kind of what the Hummer team was initially known for, and it puts Mario in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, taking some gameplay mechanics from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It is more difficult than Sonic the Hedgehog as enemies respawn. But you know what? Thought this was pretty well done. As you know what? I enjoyed playing it. Very difficult though, and you may want to prefer just playing the original release. Well, then there were several hacks, and putting Sonic into this version of the game makes it feel more like a Sonic game. And you know what? Not the best Sonic game. I'm going to show that in a moment. What I feel is a better Sonic game. But yeah, this to me feels right. Sonic the Hedgehog character, well animated by the way, and they were took some aspects of the game from the Mega Drive version as well as the bonus stage from the Sega Master System. And so there's lots of information on the link below about this version, a master link where it talks about the Hummer team's games. I'm not showing all of them, but just showing the ones that I feel were interesting. But yeah, this is just kind of weird playing Sonic Hedgehog on Famicom. It's just strange to me. It's kind of playing with my mind a little bit. But I know there's several of these games, especially on other platforms. And so, anyways, moving on to the next one, which is truly impressive. Sonic 3D Blast 5, just another Sonic game. I found this one to play a little bit better. And anyways, nice music, by the way. And you start off at a different part of Sonic game. But you know what? Going back and playing this, it's truly impressive what development teams pulled off. And you know what? I know it's unofficial, but it's just kind of cool to see these things being made. And I know the sky's the limit for creativity, especially with a very determined developer on making certain games. And so, you know, I know it's not official, but it's still cool to see these and to play them and to understand that it could be possible. The inspiration for this video was that I mentioned in my last video about Super Mario World probably being made for the Famicom. Well, it was. By the Hummer team. Took nearly a year to make. And while it doesn't have everything from the Super Nintendo version, it has mostly everything. And in the link it breaks down all the differences. Very impressive. Even manages to pull off the music. Let's listen to it. Pretty awesome. Found it fairly difficult, but you know what? I did enjoy playing it, and definitely one of all the ones I'm showing today. Probably the one I'd probably want to go back and check out and revisit, as pretty impressive. And I can't believe they were able to squeeze all the goodness, or most of it, into a Famicom port. I am just blown away. Another one I was impressed with was Final Fight 3. And this was a late release. and 98. And you know what? I really enjoy brawlers. And so this one was well done and has lots of different things that I enjoy about it. Has the two-player aspect of a Final Fight game. So I definitely would love to check this out and play through it at some point. But yeah, it's different power-ups and items. You know, typical Final Fight game. You open up the oil drums, which are smaller in this version, and you can get money, fruit, different things, boss fights. I found the boss fights to be challenging, but you know what? I think there's going to be several people that are going to enjoy playing this. So what did you think of the games that I showed? What was your favorite? In the comments below, let me know. And as always, I enjoy doing different types of content for you. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.